Hi buddies, hope you're doing fine. In this series, we are going to talk about the important questions from the modern age. If you are ready, let's get started. 101 onwards. The first stage play of Scene O Cassie, Juno and the Peacock. O Cassie is associated with Abbey Theatre. Jack, Piggy, and Rolf figure in Lord of the Flies. Virginia Woolf employed the stream of consciousness technique for the first time in Mrs. Dalloway. Anne Whitefield, John Tanner, and Roebuck Ramsden figure in Shaw's play Man and Superman. Septimus Warren Smith figures in Mrs. Dalloway. James Joyce's chamber music is a collection of poems. The first stream of conscious novels were written by Dorothy Richardson. The first intended title of A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man is Stephen Hero. The sentence Big Brother is watching you occurs in 1984. Lawrence deals with the story of Christ in The Man Who Died. The author of the one-act play, The Dark Lady of the Sonnets, is Shaw. Eliot's Book of Practical Cats is a collection of humorous verse for children. E.M. Forster depicts successfully homosexual relations in Maurice, who is associated with the Oxford English Dictionary, James Murray. John Fowler's The French Lieutenant's Woman parodies the Victorian novels. Murdo was awarded the Booker Prize in 1978 for the novel The Sea, the Sea. The first novel of Irish Murdo is Under the Net. Iris Murdo's most successful novel is The Bill. Sarah Woodruff and Ernestina figure in The French Lieutenant's Woman. Adela and Dr. Aziz figure in A Passage to India. The ban on Lady Chatterley's Lover was lifted in 1960. The slogan Make It New is offered by Pound. The Greek tradition of chorus reappears in the play of T.S. Eliot. Maurya figures in J.M. Synge's Riders to the Sea. Nothing happens, nobody comes, nobody goes, it is awful. The play is Waiting for Godot. Hurry up please, it is time appears as a refrain in the second part of The Wasteland. Golding's novel about the coming of Homo sapiens is The Inheritors. The subtitle of Woolf's novel Orlando is a biography. Who says my subject is war and the pity of war? Hilfred Owen. C.P. Snow's Strangers and Brothers has 11 volumes. Lawkins' The Less Deceived is a collection of poems. Jim Dixon appears in Lucky Jim. Tom Stoppard's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead was produced in the year 1960. Comedy of Menace is associated with Pinter. The last play of Joe Orton is What the Butler Saw. W.H. Auden migrated to America in the year 1939. In Memory of W.B. Yeats is an elegy by Auden. Osborne's Look Back in Anger was staged in the year 1956 at the Royal Court Theatre. The first poem of W.B. Yeats is The Wanderings of Oisin, 1989. The first play of W.B. Yeats is The Countess Kathleen. In 1889, Yeats met Mountgawn, in which year Yeats was elected Senator of the Irish Free State, 1922. In 1923, Yeats was awarded the Nobel Prize. Yeats saw in man a dual personality, self and anti-self, in which play Yeats used a symbol of art, Byzantium. Eliot worked as an editor in the Criterion from 1922 to 1939. Eliot's first markedly religious poem is Ash Wednesday. The Wasteland has been called a social document. Auden's two major works are Newer Letter, The Age of Anxiety. Spender used chorus in the play is The Trial of a Judge. Spender's poems are divided into three groups. Spender's first group poems are Marginal Field and an Elementary School Classroom in Slum. In which year Dylan Thomas published his first volume, 1934. Louis' first volume of poems is Transitional Poems. John Bedgeman's first book of poems is Mount Jane. In 1952, John Bedgeman published the book A Few Late Chrysanthemums. John Benjamin's last book is A Nip in the Air. Ted Hooke's first collection of poems is The Hawk in the Rain. Philip Larkin was shortly noted as the post-Second World War poet of England. Philip Larkin used traditional metrical patterns in his works. Gilbert Keith Chesterton was journalist. Gilbert Keith Chesterton supported capitalism. Who was the editor of an anthology of verse entitled Georgian Poetry? Edward Marsh. What is common amongst Robert Brooke, Julian Grenfell, and Siegfried Sassoon? They were all war poets who succeeded Robert Bridges as poet laureate of England. John Mansfield, who supported British imperialism in India. Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling was born in Bombay. Oh, east is east and west is west, and never the twain can meet. Whose lines are these? Rudyard Kipling. T.S. Eliot dedicated his The Wasteland to Ezra Pound. In how many parts is The Wasteland divided? 5 parts. Which of the poem T.S. Eliot ends with the lines Datta Dayadavam Damyata Shanti Shanti Shanti? The Wasteland. James Joyce initiated stream of consciousness technique. Which of James Joyce novels resembles a vast musical composition? Finnegan's Wake. Which novel of D.H. Lawrence has autobiographical overtones? Sons and Lovers. D.H. Lawrence, Lady Chatterley's Lover is generally called an obscene novel because its theme is sexual experience. The phrase religion of the blood is associated with D.H. Lawrence. Virginia Woolf was the daughter of an important critic, Leslie Stephen. A character in Virginia Woolf's novels changes his sex. Which novel is it? Orlando. What is the central theme of Bernard Shaw's Man and Superman? A woman's search for a fitting mate. In which of Shaw's plays the chocolate cream hero appears? Arms and the Man. What is the central theme of Shaw's Mrs. Warren's profession? Prostitution. The central theme of Galsworthy's strife is labor and capital conflict. The law is what it is, a majestic edifice sheltering all of us, each stone of which rests on another. In which play this sentence occurs? Justice. In which year was Bernard Shaw awarded the Nobel Prize? 1925. Joseph Conrad's novels are generally set in the background of the sea. E.M. Foster's A Passage to India deals with relationship between the Britishers and Indians. Who is the originator of sprung rhythm? Hopkins. The terms inscape and instress are associated with Hopkins, who called Hamlet an artistic failure. T.S. Eliot. The World Within World is an autobiography of Stephen Spender, who said, for art's sake alone, I would not face the toil of writing a single sentence. G.B. Shaw. Aldous Huxley borrowed the title Brave New World from Shakespeare's Tempest, who was believed to be a classicist in literature, royalist in politics, and Anglo-Catholic in religion. T.S. Eliot, who was the founder of the Bloomsbury Group, a literary club of England. Virginia Woolf. How should Rudyard Kipling be rightly called an Anglo-Indian poet? George Orwell's 1984 is a prophetic novel. Who initiated the term New Criticism in English literary criticism? David Dacres. In which verse form is T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland written? Free verse. Whose poetry was known as namby-pamby? Ambrose Phillips. That's all about this video. If you need more like this, do comment. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. If you are having any suggestion, let me know in the comment section. We'll see you next video. Tada, bye bye.